Dale!
What?
Jen, know what? There were some hijinks on this episode.
I'm chomping at the bit to get going.
Careful you don't shatter yourself.
Bitch, Doctor.
That's Queen, bitch, to you. So anyway, ladies and gentlebots, welcome back to the Shuntcast. It's time to review episode 9 of BattleBots. So Dale, who is up first?
We have Shatter versus Captain Shredderator.
This was a fight. This was a fight. There was no shiny Shatter. He took it all off because he was concerned that the ablative bits, the decorative bits coming off would count against him in a judge's decision. I mean, optimistic that you thought it was going to go to a judge's decision with Captain Shredderator. I mean, that was optimistic on behalf of Captain Shredderator, Adam. So that was very nice of you. Well done for that. He won that fight very well though. He just waited for Captain Shredderator to do the Captain Shredderator thing and die, and took some good hits with that nice chunky plastic on the front. Waited for a good hit. Yeah. Showed us lots of good. We got lots of good bonks in this one. John Reed, take notes.
Yes.
It's not about one good hit on Rusty's. I did like the double penetration at the end. You know, bonk, 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 bonk with the pulverizer and Shatter's hammer. It was brilliant, lovely. Captain Shredderator got double penetrated, and then Brian was so camped. Did you hear his? Oh no, that was the campest I've ever heard Brian Narve.
Yes, that was a bit. Yes, that should be memed, I think.
It should be. It needs to be a meme. So there we go. Well done, Shatter. You defeated Captain Shredderator. You gave me jolly good bonking, and then the hair thing happened.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I guess you could say Adam didn't have a hair in the world.
Oh
dear.
I'm going to put Chewbacca noises to it. That was pathetic. I'm so sorry, Shump hosting. We'll move on to Claw Viper versus Gigabyte. Gigabyte was on form in this fight. They brought back its old school driver, and it drove rather well, I have to say. It was a good showing for Gigabyte, which, given how it ended up after Copperhead, was a nice turnaround, wasn't it?
Yes. I mean, it was a first for Claw Viper for trying a box rush and kind of failing that one.
It did, didn't it?
It took some hits, lost the wheel. And I'm sure Brian Narve is going to be happy, because if you saw what happened after that hit, it went up in the air and down again, which, as we all know from last year, physics, baby.
Yay! And
oh
dear. Yes, so I mean, this was definitely a much more convincing win for Gigabyte than Extinguisher, because love to Extinguisher, but they didn't get it together in that fight. One hit and they were out, and so that was really not a convincing win for Gigabyte. But I think this win is going to look a little more convincing for the selection committee for them. Will it get them into the round of 32? I don't know. The disrobing from Copperhead was quite embarrassing for them.
Well, unless they like that sort of thing, obviously.
Well, you never know. Let's not kink shame the selection committee here. We'll move on to Hijinks. Oh, speaking of which, Hijinks versus Chomp. Fight your heroes battle. And wow, Jen got to beat her hero, which is, in a sense, though, slightly sad, because no engineer wanted to see Chomp's legs get chopped off. Although they weren't disastrously chopped off, it was quite sad seeing that happen to Chomp. However, I mean, you know, it's the BattleBox, and we are all friends outside of the BattleBox, but when we're in it, we're there to win it. So, you know, some leg chomping had to happen.
I mean, yeah, I'm torn on this one, much like an owl, tawny owl. No, dear. But I was looking forward to it, but at the same time, you know, I like both robots, because obviously we love Jen, and obviously Chomp is just the best outside of Rusty. But yeah, I mean, obviously one of them had to lose, and that's just not an ideal situation. I mean, one's got to lose. But yeah.
Class driving from Orion. That hammer did not get them at all.
Well, apparently it did from the team photos. they posted.
I missed that. You
after.
blinked and you missed that then.
There's a bit of a dent in the head, but apart from that, it weren't
Ah,
catastrophic. But yes,
I see. Well, there we
but
go.
generally, oh yes,
Hijinks
it was
beat Chomp. Is it enough to get them into the round of 32? We shall see. And in the meantime, we'll move on to Slammo versus Witch Doctor. Now, given Dan B's previous history, people can probably be forgiven for thinking that Slammo was going to get slaughtered by Witch Doctor and what the heck was up with this match in the first place. But, well, fuck those guys, to be fair. Because, I mean, Slammo didn't take the win, but it put on a bloody honourable showing for it. I'll give it that. It did not let Witch Doctor take it down easily. Mike Galately had a lovely moment in the battle, but he's now joined what I like to affectionately call the Meow Donk Club, which is the shunt posting technical term for beelining for the wall, joining the likes of Rusty. And it was a good fight though. It was good. I enjoyed it, especially the wall donk. That was brilliant. Thank you, Mike. I enjoyed that.
Wall donk. No, it was pretty good. It was the old Witch Doctor we were used to. The curse has been lifted.
Yes. The Danby curse seems to have been lifted as well, because his robot's doing pretty good.
Credits to Slammo for not giving up. No weapon, but still pushing forward, and take note, Hydra. Actually fight someone. Anyway,
still salty about that, aren't you?
for the wall though. Only a little bit. Just move. I mean, don't get me started.
Okay, so speaking of salty, Gruff versus Extinguisher. Oh, I'm salty about the outcome of this fight. How sad for Gruff is that? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Gruff just completely dominated this fight, and then it died.
It's not so much it died. It died like so close to the end.
Yes,
it's
that's
like 5
equally
seconds.
frustrating.
That's the worst. I mean, being counted out like a minute into it, that's one thing, but 5 seconds left and they had a chance of winning, and it's just nope.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't believe it. Yes.
F.
F for Gruff.
Big F, massive F for Gruff. I mean, do you know what? It's not a great win for Extinguisher, because I think nobody really truly wants to win by Survivor. I mean, if you're in the top 32 and it's winning by Survivor, you're like, oh heck, I'll take it. But winning by Survival when you're trying to impress the selection committee is not the way you want to go. But there we go. Extinguisher takes the win. Gruff does not. And so we move on to Atom 94 versus Perfect Phoenix. And I love this fight, actually, because it shows how adaptable Tyler can be. I think we touched on this when we had Diana and Zach on from Scorpios, when they fought Perfect Phoenix. And Tyler is actually more dangerous when that spinner stops working, because that kid is used to driving wedge bots, and he drives them like a demon. So, actually, even they did some pretty good damage with the spinner, and Atom 94 was not happy, let's be honest. But then again, once it turned into a wedge bot as well, it was like, oh dear, if you're not an experienced driver, Atom 94 team, you're gonna have a hard time now. Because Tyler's just, he's brilliant. And also I love the wholesome shot at the end, the slow-mo with him punching the air. It's like, yeah, one again. Cool. So wholesome. Loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I will say though, I mean, it's probably both robots' best fight in terms of how long they've lasted in a fight without the bad luck from Extinguisher in the other fight. And I feel like Atom 94 is improving so much so that all they need to do is just upgrade a bit here and there, and they'll be maybe not top 10 or whatever, but they'll be a lot higher up next year if they get a chance.
Yeah, it very much screams to me that they're just having teething problems right now. That's what it is. And maybe it's a lack of experience thing, because you've got to remember this is their first time at BattleBots, so maybe it's just noob's luck.
Yes, or unluck.
Is this win enough to get him into the round of 32, impressing the selection committee? We will find out. I think. Is it next week we find out? Maybe. I think it must be.
I think.
We think. Don't hold us to it.
I think.
Right, we will move on to the main event, which is Copperhead versus Black Dragon. And I have got Zach Goff with us on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Zach.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me on the show on behalf of Copperhead. Team Pete, Luke, Rob, Kim, Casey, of course the sponsors: Avid CNC, E-Gauge, L&L Fabrication, Rocky Mountain Waterjet. So thanks to all of them for helping get us there to the show.
How did you get there to the show? Was it a bit tight with all the COVID restrictions, or did you get a bit of extra time because the filming was delayed?
Yeah, kind of best of both worlds, honestly. So most of us drove out to avoid the plague. It was pretty good actually. Rather enjoyed the COVID setting. Kind of mellowed things out, and people were spread out, had more space, and didn't have a live audience to worry about. So filming was a lot smoother. I don't know, it just kind of worked out.
You didn't have the copper spread, though. We called your pit area the copper spread because it was lovely. I didn't get to experience it because I was busy fixing smashed face syndrome on Nelly.
Yeah, I think this is like the first conversation that you and I have had so far. So, hi, Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, no copper spread this year. We were feeling a bit frugal with all the economic destruction going on, so kept the spending low this year.
I have a super important question for you because we need to know these things here on Shunt Posting. Do you prefer Al Kindle with Adam's hair or bald Adam?
I mean, I think Al Kindle would want that hair. So I'll give him his wish. He's a pretty heavy metal punk rocker. I could see him swinging that weave at a concert.
Doing the windmill.
Yeah.
Are you a metaler? Do you like metal?
I can dig it every once in a while. It's not something that I want like on all the time. Kind of grinds you down. Got to have a little variety, spice of life,
This is true. We're actually
yeah.
Next week we're having a non-metal special on the Builders playlist on this show. So go on, what's a metal band you like? Tell us one.
Metal band I like. Oh. I was always a big, I don't know if it counts as metal, but I was always a big Disturbed fan as a kid. They were pretty awesome.
I love Disturbed.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really followed up with them, so maybe I need to.
I saw them live when I was 18, and I was so impressed with how he sings because he legit sings live the way he sings on the albums, and I was really, really impressed with that.
Yeah, that guttural voice thing. That's cool.
So, his cover of The Sound of Silence divides a lot of people.
Really? I always thought that was a good cover.
I think it's amazing, but I know people that hate it. I don't know anybody that's sort of in between. They either really love it or really hate it.
I love mashups of different genres, so I'm always for a good cross genre cover.
I'm digressing away from robots though, so we're going to come back to Copperhead. Back to Copperhead. Good sir, your robot is a monster. I'm quite scared of it. It's in my top 2 of robots that if Mr. Catling came out and said to me, Nelly the Ellybot versus, I would have to get some brown trousers.
That's some high praise.
It's between you and Uppercut. I'm frankly, I'm intimidated with you even being here on the show. I'm not. That's absolute bullshit. But
Uppercut scares the bejesus out of me too. So
well, I'm glad to hear that because literally every fight we've just been like, holy shit, Copperhead.
Right? That thing's nasty.
I mean, considering you got one hit wondered by Kronos last year, like.
Thanks for the reminder. Yeah.
Oh, it made a good hit of the night award on the show last year. So I'm sorry, it stands out for us. And also, Kronos is a beautiful robot. To be fair, we're a fan of Kronos here.
Yeah, they've got a good costume. They got a cool ethos going on. Kronos is a neat team.
It is. I love the kind of geary steampunk aesthetic of the robot. It's nice, and I like it. So your fight with Black Dragon. How did you feel when you got told you were up against Black Dragon?
Yeah, well, I guess I asked for it, so I had to be pleased with that.
Okay, you asked for it. Tell us more.
Yeah. It was well, I mean, we go way back. We've always gone head to head, and it's usually a really close, exciting fight. So it makes for good television, good entertainment, and kind of Copperhead was specifically designed for, the smaller, more compact competitors that maybe run a wedge, because we got those forks that just get right under them. So I figured, it'd be a good matchup for us and probably good entertainment because they're super durable, so it would go the distance. And it'd be a good test for Copperhead to see, if all the improvements that we made were working. And it, for the most part, worked out pretty well. There at the end, we were struggling, but that's robots. You fix all the weakest links from the previous matches, and then you find out, oh, there's another place that'll break, and then you have to go and fix that. So we learned some more from that match, and it was a really exciting fight. So I'm glad. That's the kind of the American success porn that you want to see. Intense struggle with a victory out on top, and that's what everyone likes to see. So I'm pretty happy. Yeah.
How are you fancying your chances for the top 32 at this point now in the competition?
I think it's pretty well sold. So we have like one more episode before they release the tournament of 32.
Yeah.
So I've been reading the comments, and people are like, "Oh, Copperhead, top 5 robot." So I'm pretty happy that.
I mean, I'd go with that.
Reception. Yeah.
I think I said similar about, because Uppercut is the other one I'm terrified of right now, and if that doesn't somehow get in like the top 8 or the top 4, it'll be a crime, or like some super bad luck or something. But there we go. Right, we're going to tuck into some fan and builder questions. Are you ready for this?
Bring it on.
Okay. First up, Helen Claudio asks, who would you like to fight most, and who would you most dread fighting?
Oof. Most anything with a wedge. That's what Copperhead is really, really good against. I'll take anything with a wedge. But least would definitely be Sawblaze, because Jameson, he's just such a good driver, and he would absolutely smother Copperhead. Our success is predicated upon getting some distance, getting the drum spun up, and going in for the right angle of attack. And I don't think Jameson would give us that opportunity. He'd be on us nonstop. It'd be a tough fight. So that one I would probably give to Jameson. And every robot is rock paper scissors. So we've got our pros and our cons. And yeah, Sawblaze would definitely be a tough one for the design of Copperhead.
Adam Matthew Peckett wants to know, does the snake puppet have a name?
We've got so many snakes. We really do need to go about giving them names.
That's a first world problem, isn't it? I have too many snakes.
Not
an innuendo, by the way.
I know. It's so miserable. maybe Copperhead and the Danger Noodles kind of sounds like an indie band, maybe.
I love the name Danger Noodles. I approve.
All right, we'll go with that.
Hey, Ray Sun from Wanhu asks, is stick and move driving tactics your preference, or because of the nature of the layout of Copperhead and Unmakerbot?
Oh, hey, Ray. Nice to hear from you. I think last time we were trapped in an elevator in Beijing, so good to hear from you again. Yeah, I think it's just kind of an evolution of a few different factors. I don't know, it's weird because I played a lot of video games, and usually you get absolutely punished for just kind of sitting in one spot. But at the same time, like, I have a military background, and the whole goal in any sort of engagement is take the high ground. Take the position of strength, and that's generally the center of the arena. Because if you're on the edges, you're likely to bump into the bumpers, which could, throw off your drive, your maneuvering, and give the other opponent an opportunity to hit you. Or if you do get hit, there's a good chance you get knocked out of the arena. And Copperhead's so small, it really likes to fit in that space between the wall. So yeah, I just feel safer in the middle of the arena. That's where I like to be. And then make the other robot kind of drive around and try and get around to the side. And usually when people start getting fancy with their driving, that'll open up an opportunity to go in for a good hit. So yeah, I think that's kind of the philosophy of the driving style. Also, we do brushless motors, which kind of suck for responsiveness. They're not super responsive. So being able to drive aggressively, it's kind of like driving a boat. It's very sloppy. So being able to sit in one place and just kind of turn lazily, it works a little bit better for the brushless setup. So yeah, lots of factors, I guess.
Jeremy Hall asks, can you give a few comparisons between Copperhead and Poison Arrow?
Yeah, Poison Arrow. So it died in China. It got left behind. ClashBots claimed it, probably in some warehouse,
F.
rusting away.
That's KFC death camp around here.
Yeah, KFC death camp. Yeah, it was in the contract though. I can't blame them. They claimed ownership and they paid for it. So
I mean, if they paid for it, then that's kind of fair enough. But
you can't knock them for that. I don't think they did anything with it, which is kind of frustrating. You know, it's probably
that would annoy me.
But they bought it, so it's theirs to do with what they please. So yeah, Copperhead was kind of the next iteration to solve some of the issues that we had. So ClashBots, KFC Death Camp, Copperhead had a good run, placed top 4, but it usually had issues with like going up against wedges, and that's because a drum tends to get deflected by wedges a lot. So a lot of the design philosophy of Copperhead was to solve the wedge problem, which a lot of people were starting to use back then. So that's kind of what Copperhead came from. It was also during a time when I was feeling super frugal and cheap, so the fabrication style of Copperhead was intended to be cheap. It didn't turn out that way, of course. But it's a fairly simple design, a simple robot. Most of it's water jet or laser cut, so it goes together really easy. Not a lot of machining involved, other than the friggin' drum. Super expensive machining job on that. Just because it got so last minute. Our first vendor fell out, and then we had 6 weeks to get a new drum built. So we had to spend a shitload of money expediting. Yeah, these things always turn into disgusting expenses. But that's kind of the next iteration of Poison Arrow. I would say definitely an improvement in a lot of ways. I know people don't look at it that way because Poison Arrow has had a lot more success than Copperhead, but that's really more of a testament to all the other robots having evolved and gotten so much better in the years since Poison Arrow was on the show. So it's really, everyone's evolving so fast. It's hard to keep up with everyone right now. But Copperhead is leaps and bounds better than Poison Arrow was.
I resisted the temptation to make this joke earlier because Dale is going to hate me for it because I'm repeating myself. But when I saw that the main event was Copperhead versus Black Dragon, I was like, drum roll, please. And you saying drum so much reminded me, and I had to do it. I'm sorry, Dale.
I'll get you off.
Thank you. So Tom Wisniewski asks, which bot would make your ideal giant nut fight?
Giant nut fight.
So who are you in the final with?
Who are we in the final with? If you take out Bite Force, I think everyone's got an eye on them.
Don't be boring and say Bite Force. Come on.
Yeah.
Be more creative.
Endgame is looking. I mean, Endgame's basically Bite Force. But
it's Bite Force, but Kiwi.
Yeah, Kiwi Bite Force. I consider. I mean, no offense to Paul, but I consider Endgame a much more better engineered version of Bite Force.
Oh, I say. I say.
Interesting. Throwing some shade.
That's okay. Shade's allowed.
Shade's allowed. Yeah.
I regularly pick on Brian Nave. Honestly, it's a sport at this point. Picking on Captain Shredderator. I enjoy it as well, which helps.
Yeah. Yes. No, I think Nave gets every bit of it. Deserves every bit of it.
So you're going for Endgame then?
Yeah, Endgame would be a good matchup for Copperhead, I think. Scary. I don't know how we do in it, but I think it'd be a good one.
Well, fingers crossed we get it. Next question. Roger Mail asks, if you were entered into an animal bot rumble, who would you like to go in the box with?
Like live animals?
No, well, because Copperhead's a snake.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
It's robot.
Can I just make one small request on this though? Because I saw this question and I suddenly became scared. See, the thing is, I have done link jokes to death at Robert Cowan, and I rather suspect that if Nelly was in the arena with Copperhead, he might tell you to be a bit nasty to me. And for the sake of winning, you'd listen to him, which is, fair enough. It's BattleBots, not CuddleBots. So could you please not include Nelly in this? Because Robert Cowan might like revenge on me for flogging the dead horse of Link jokes. So if you could just not include Nelly in your answer, that would be grand. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, that's fair. Let's see, who are all the animal robots?
Kraken, Sharkoprian,
Ribbot.
Ribbot.
Well,
You know what? Ribbot. I'll take on Ribbot because they friggin' stole the frog theme from Poison Arrow. So
Ooh,
there you go.
it's
Bring
a rumble. We need some more. We'll throw Kraken in there.
Hijinks.
Hijinks. Yeah, Hijinks is an owl. That's true.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Mammoth.
Hydra's a mythical being. Does that count?
Ooh, Hydra would be tough.
I would not like to fight Hydra either. No, it's not quite in the scary category of like Copperhead and Uppercut. I'm resisting the temptation to make more bike rack jokes. But Tom Brisbane asks if there's any overseas competitors you particularly missed seeing this season.
Oh yeah, like y'all British folks just make everything so much more entertaining.
No.
I don't know if it's the accents or the attitudes or what it is, but yeah, we missed out on a lot of the international teams, obviously. So I'm hoping that y'all can all come back next season. Things will be under control. Hopefully, the vaccines will be rolling out.
I need to come and enjoy a copper spread.
There you go. Yeah, we need to get back on our.
That's on my list of BB goals.
Kurt actually had our couches this year from Max Backwards. We gave it to him at the end of the year because we didn't want to freaking deal with them. But he managed to shove them into some room that was not being used, and they sat there the whole year. And he managed to drag them back out and claim them. So yeah,
amazing.
He got the couches.
Oh dear. Sam Taylor asks, how difficult is it to drive Copperhead?
It's surprisingly not too bad. It drives a little bit like a forklift. So if you get a little too fast and crazy, it tends to drift out of control. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the gyroscopics are fun. So we've got switches that limit how fast it'll turn so that we don't accidentally go up on one wheel when we don't intend to, unless we're trying to get self-righting. But yeah, no, it's actually pretty enjoyable. It drifts around pretty nice. So yeah, it's a good time.
This next one is from Ty Daly, and I need to go full queen for this one. It's the ultimate showdown, the Thumb War. It's Zachary Goff versus Zachary Lytle for the title of the greatest Zachary. Who will win?
Holy shit! Yeah, that's intense. I mean, maybe
You're
if
welcome.
This was like a contest of kitten petting, Zachary Lytle would win. But let's be honest, who's got the evil game face? It's Zachary Goff.
I mean, you also said you were in the military, and I'm sure that thumb wars are things that they make sure you're good at in the military.
Yeah, you gotta pass thumb wars before
you won, surely.
You're 16.
One last question, because we have to ask all the guesses. What's it like to win the giant nut?
I wouldn't know.
Okay, we're going to play a little game of Beat, Defeat, Judges, which is basically Snog, Marry, Avoid, but less creepy and more robots. Obviously, your robot is Copperhead, and your three opponents are Shatter, Hydra, and Whiplash. So beat one, get defeated by another, and one goes to the judges.
Shatter, Hydra, Whiplash. Let's see. Beat, definitely Shatter. Get just right under him, tear that thing up. Beat the contest. Sorry, Shatter.
Sorry, Shatter.
Defeat. Gosh, those Waiachi guys, they put so much effort and money into their robots. I don't know if we can beat them, to be honest. Their ground game is impeccable. That I would think that they might defeat us. And then I guess I have only got one category left with Whiplash, which is judges. And they're such great drivers. I think they'd be a lot like Jameson. They just be on Copperhead nonstop. We'd have a hard time getting an opportunity to get the drum spun up and getting a big hit on them. So that'd be a close one.
Yeah, but you're not Al Kindle, so you've got that in your favor.
True. Yeah, I don't have the curse of Kindle.
You don't. So we will decide the Good Hit of the Night award for episode 9, Zach. We have a couple of nominations, but do you have any that particularly stick in your mind?
I was actually cracking up pretty hard when Captain Shredderator was getting double teamed by Shatter
Yes!
and the
Yes!
Risers.
That's what I want to win. Yes.
That was my
the
favorite
double
moment.
bonking of Captain Shredderator. It was marvellous. But we would like to give an honourable mention to Witch Doctor's Wall Slam, because we have a club on this show. If you're a robot that beelines for a wall like Rusty, you now join the Meow Donk Club. And as of episode 9, Witch Doctor is now in this club. Sorry,
Well,
Mike.
I'm glad that they got Mike on camera being like, oh, that was
That was
dumb.
stupid. It was amazing. Oh, that was amazing. I love that. Okay, so I mean, I'm with you on this one, but it's your decision anyway. So you're going to give the Good Hit of the Night award to the double bonking of Captain Shredderator?
Absolutely. That had me in tears. So
There we go. Congratulations, Shatter. You get the Good Hit of the Night award for double penetrating Captain Shredderator. Well
Jeez,
done.
not safe for kids.
Haven't you done well in life? Well, Zach, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any shout outs that you'd like to give out before you go?
Yeah, no, I appreciate the team. Can't do anything without the team. So, thank you for Rob and Kim and Casey and Pete and Luke and all the other people. There's a bunch of other locals that helped out too. So it's always a team effort. So I'm glad to get to be the face on the show, but there's a whole bunch of people behind the robots. So thank you guys.
Aww. Thank you, Team Copperhead. You're lovely.
It was
Bravo.
a pleasure.
And I'm sorry, Robert, for all the Link jokes. Honest.
It's good to have a rivalry. It makes good for TV.
Well, do you know the thing is, right? He's made comments about links and stuff so often that I just decided, how can I get this to stop? I know, I'll overuse a joke about it a lot of times and that'll get it to stop. And it worked. Because the last time I made a joke about links, he used the flogging a dead horse gif at me. So so he's obviously got very bored of the whole links thing. So it worked.
You know what? I'm going to take the position of Switzerland and just kind of sit this one out and let y'all duke it.
I mean,
So,
you are American. You could take the 5th.
I could. Yeah, we do have that option here.
You do. Zach, thank you so much for being on the show.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me on, y'all.
It's time for the Builders playlist, and I've been dying to talk to Al because Mr. Wrigley from the Shatter team did have a little pop at your lack of hair, Al. Do you have anything to say to him?
Hair is so 90s, man. Everyone knows that Jason Statham is where it's at right now.
It's lovely that he thought of you.
Al Kindle is the Bruce Willis of the BattleBots.
He wishes he was Chuck Norris.
John McCain. Not John McCain. John McClane. Wow.
John McClane, yeah. I was going to say,
There's a
very
point
easily
difference there.
mixed up.
You know what? That's making it in the show. That's not going in the outtakes.
Al
Oh.
Kindle is the John McCain of the BattleBots.
Excellent.
Oh dear.
Hi,
Oh.
I'm also here.
So yeah, Rara's here. Hi Rara, how are you?
Hello, I'm okay.
Great. Should we do the thing?
We shall do the thing.
Let's do
Commence
the
thinging.
commence thinging commencing now. First up, Al, it is Take Control by Old Gods of Asgard as suggested by Sebastian Cousins. Here we go. What do we think, Al?
Well, two things with this one. First of all, if you have Asgard in the name of your band, you got to hit a hell of a lot harder than this does. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if other songs are any different, but as far as this song actually goes, I didn't hate it. It's definitely not my thing, but it's certainly not the worst thing I've ever heard, and not the worst thing I've heard on the show either. So I didn't hate it, but it's just not my thing.
It's going to take a lot to beat WAP for something you hate that much, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of prog rock. I quite liked it. Like, not like, I didn't sort of go, oh my God, I really like this. But no, I sort of, yeah, I'm all right with it.
I'm in the same boat. I didn't dislike it, but I very much agree with Al. From the name, I was expecting different.
Yeah, the name is misleading.
Yeah. And again, maybe we haven't listened to any of their other songs, so maybe they hit harder, and this is a particularly sleepy song of theirs, but it was just not as heavy.
Well, Sebastian did say in his comment that it was prog rock, so this suggests that that's kind of what the band is. But we don't know, having not listened
possibly
to anything else. But there we go. So is it a yay or is it a nay for the Builders playlist, Al?
I'm going to leave it. I'm going to say yeah, because I kind of like the vocals. I liked his voice. And you mentioned prog rock. And one of the things I was thinking about when I listened to this was that I didn't immediately know what category I would call this, which I actually consider a good thing whenever I listen to a new song. If I can't immediately say, oh, this is just rock. Oh, this is, straight heavy metal. I'm like, oh, I think it's good when it makes you think about, oh, well, what are these guys going for?
Yeah.
And I kind of got that vibe from them, and I didn't hate it. And so, I'm going to go ahead and put this on.
Yeah, I'd happily listen to it if it was on my playlist. If Rara stuck this on the Nelly playlist, I'd be all right with it.
Yeah.
All right, well, congratulations, Sebastian Cousins. Your song makes the Builders playlist. Woo!
Yeah, woo. Congrats. You did good. So, next up, for everyone, it is Zverka by Corvus Corax, suggested by Glynis Jansen. And take a listen to this one.
Bagpipe metal. I love
Bagpipe
it.
metal.
Bagpipe metal.
That's just what it was, wasn't it? It was just bagpipe metal.
I love it. I loved everything about this. I'm so happy this was
just very angry and Scottish.
I think they're German.
But it was bagpipe metal. If it's got bagpipes, it's still angry Scottish to me.
So, Al, what did you think?
It's funny you talk about the bagpipes. I have a weird thing for bagpipes too in music, and a lot of the things I listen to have bagpipes for whatever reason. That whole folk metal genre they like bagpipes, even if they're just intros, or like in this where they kind of use it more often. And I did check out some other songs as well, and the bagpipes are there, even live if you watch some of their live videos. Music wise, it's not something I would listen to all the time, but it kind of gave me the feel of waiting to go into battle, or you just had battle.
It was very epic.
You're recovering. So I think it's a really good fit.
It's a call to war.
Yeah, exactly. And hell, it's nuclear blast artists. So,
Yeah.
I know why you like bagpipes. It's because you're full of hot air. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that burn. I couldn't resist that burn. I'm just
Sarah.
Ooh. Sorry, what did you say, Al?
Did Adam write that joke for you?
No, Adam is not taking credit for my burn. Thank you. Please.
It's okay. I don't think anyone wants to take credit for that one.
Okay, is it going on the Builders playlist, Al?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yes, I like this. I wanted this on the Builders playlist.
Same here.
I am happy. Okay, lastly, it is Excitement, Eagle Heart by Stradivarius, as kindly suggested by Jack Finney. I think we know the answer to this one already, but here we go. Here it is. You like Stradivarius, Al. I know you like Stradivarius.
I've loved Stradivarius since no one else ever heard of them. So I've been a fan since, I'd have to look it up. The album was Episode. That was the new album at the time when I discovered them, and I had to buy it as a Japanese import. I think I paid something crazy like $30 for it. And but yeah, I've liked these guys for forever. And while this album isn't one of my favorites, I mean, it's from I think this is kind of near the tail end of what I would consider their golden era. Early on, it was very fast, very powerful. This album's really good. I think it's a 2-part album, Elements Part 1 and 2. But yeah, this is my preferred genre, power metal. Most people know it by now. And this is just, you turn it on and it says, I'm power metal, and I don't apologize for it. It's fast.
Yes.
It punches you in the face and expects you to ask for more.
Yeah, and the vocals on this are awesome. It's just another, he's right up there with Michael Kiske from Halloween. His vocal range is amazing, and the guitars, it's got everything. And
I mean, just the title, Eagle Heart. It's just
right. It's just
powerful.
It's a soaring feel good anthem.
Yes, it does.
It's
screams
got a
anthem.
really good hit to it, and it again, like, I can genuinely picture this whilst in the workshop building robots, and that's exactly what this thing's for. So yeah, it's the perfect fit for the playlist.
So I mean, do I need to ask?
No,
I don't think you need to.
There's already Stradivarius on my playlist, so yeah, there's no need to even ask this one.
Well, there we go. It is 3-3 this week. Congratulations, Sebastian Cousins, Glynis Jansen, and Jack Finney. It's a hat trick. Woohoo!
It's a very rare occasion, but it does happen.
It does. And we haven't found something he hated more than Pantera again. So we've got that going
Always
for us.
good. It's always good not to upset Al.
May I propose a suggestion on the basis that we have had another 3-3? Could I propose that next week we have a non-metal episode, just to see what the Shunt posters have in the non-metal category?
Absolutely. I like the idea of this.
What do you think, Al? Should we have a one-off non-metal week?
I'm game. I mean, I do listen to some non-metal stuff, but yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, right. Well, there you go, listeners. Get some suggestions on the playlist that are not metal. Anything but. Any genre, no limits. Just go for it. Hit us with what you've got on the Builders playlist thread on Robot or Shunt posting on Facebook. Plugging my own group, of course. I mean,
we've got to.
We've got to. I mean, to be fair, we do have a lot of YouTube subscribers that maybe don't know the Facebook. So there you go.
Possibly.
So there we go. Until next week, no more Builders playlist. Got to get rid of you guys. Sorry. Bye, Rara.
Bye.
Have fun, Al. I'll tell Adam off for you.
Bye, Adam.
Now, to keep my promise to Al Kindle, here we go. Adam, you're a naughty boy, and I am really convincingly telling you off for burning him on TV.
It was really funny.
Al's still here. I lied. Al's gone. Dale, are you back?
I am back, yes. Hello, here's your tea.
Oh, aren't you lovely? We shall do Meme of the Week. My nomination is Sean Fenton's Grumpy Al versus Grumpy Ray. What's yours?
That's a good one, but I also want to suggest Grog Haller's Family Guy. What the hell is this huge Kraken combination?
That
was pretty
did
good.
tickle me. I did quite like, but
Yes,
I can't resist a grumpy owl.
I do know this. Yes, you have mentioned it before we recording every week.
I do love a good grumpy owl.
Yes. I'll let you
Oh,
have it.
we had an owl Kindle one last week. Go on. You have it. Congratulations, Grog Haller. You win meme of the
Fair
week
enough.
with your "What the hell is this?" with Huge and Kraken. It was slim pickings for a Farukalicious award this week, so I'm instead gonna have a wholesome award for the fist bump slow mo from Tyler at the end of the fight with Atom 94. It was so wholesome, and as someone who has been watching this kid's bot career for a little while now, since he was on BattleBots, it just warms my heart seeing him on the show and seeing him win. So there we go. Congratulations, Perfect Phoenix. You could have a wholesome award. Before we go, Dale, hold on, editorial cough. Try again. Before we go, Dale, I think perhaps we could have a little speculation on who makes it into the round of 32.
That's a good idea. Yes, we could do.
I mean, Copperhead, definitely.
Well, yes. I mean, not showing any bias, but you know, they have won all their fights.
Rather convincingly.
Yes.
What about the
Who
big
else?
ones like Tombstone? Tombstones have been a bit iffy this season.
Yes. I mean, I think they have to give it almost just out of avoiding Grumpy Ray.
I mean, Scorpio, so that's got to be a shoe-in, surely.
I would like to think so. I mean,
For your annoyance, Hydra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any Shell Spit, who I think Captain Shredderator or Gigabyte, I think any of those will make it in.
Maybe 32. At a push.
Oh, who else? There's no Blacksmith this season. God. Sawblaze. Fancy Sawblaze's chance? Oh, Uppercut. Uppercut's got to be in. Come on. After just exploding Sawblaze, if Uppercut's not in, it's a crime.
Yes, and Rusty, of course.
I mean, obviously. I mean, that. To be honest, Dale, that went without saying.
Well, yes, but I just want to make sure that we haven't forgotten about him every week because we need to mention him.
Endgame's probably looking good for it. Whiplash, I think, is as well.
Yes.
I'm sad to say I don't think Huge is, but that's to my annoyance because I love Huge and I want Huge to do well, but it's not had a great run this time.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's on the borderline, I would say, because...
If it's in, I'll be delighted, but I'll understand if it's not.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's understandable, but you want it because you know you're going to see good fights.
Yes.
Who else?
I think we'll leave it there. We'll leave the speculation there, Dale. It's not long to go until we find out. And next week we're going, oh, well. Because, I mean, predictions this whole season have just been thrown out the window. So for all we know, our predictions are going to be thrown out the window next week. So there we go. It's that proverbial next week, isn't it?
Yes. When next week?
So there we go, ladies and gentlebots. That is the end of the Shuntcast. So it's goodbye from Dale.
Bye-bye.
And it's goodbye from the Queen. Goodbye.